FlossTube, it's Lorna the Ladybird Stitcher. Today is Friday the 30th of April and I'm here for my April update. I hope everyone had a really good month. We celebrated Easter. We had just a quiet one with family. The month has been okay. My daughter went back to school. She had 2 weeks of school holidays. She's now gone back to school and that's going really well. We found out that they're going to have excursions again this year. They didn't have any last year, so that's really good for them, for the kids. And also there's a athletics carnival coming up in a couple of weeks, which they also missed out on last year. So this will be her first year at school where she doesn't miss out on too much. So that's really, really good. I hope where you are, things are starting to open up as well. Okay, let's get started. I will talk about life updates, especially regarding my eyes. I'll talk about that at the end, so if you're not interested, you can just leave early. But I'm here for the April update. So my favourite and one that I try to work on every month was the Templar prophecy, and this is what it will look like when it's finished. And here is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And there it is. So this is 25 count Lugana in white, and it's being stitched using 034 in Silks for You thread. So 1/1 on 25 count, and that's where I'm up to. I am now over a third of the way past. I'm 33.42% done. I managed 7,121 stitches since my last video, and I've completed 20,072 stitches out of 60,065. I have also gone through and caught up with the back stitch. I'm not sure if you can see that, but those flowers between the unicorns here, they're all back stitched. There's a lot of back stitch up here, and I actually didn't see these when I initially looked at it. I thought all the back stitch was in the top border, but no, there was a lot more than I thought, but that's okay. There's also back stitching, a little bit of back stitching here and in these stars, and yeah, there's back stitching all the way through. I didn't realize, but that's okay. It goes pretty quick. It's not too detailed, so that's all right. One of them was, I think up here, that was supposed to be a spider. I turned it into a bee or a different insect because I don't like spiders. So that was just a little bit of changing of the back stitch as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this is coming along. That's the width of it. It will not grow any wider than that. So I've completed the top border now. That's all the way complete. And I'll just be working down. So I have 2 more rows under this row. 2 more rows under that. And yeah, that will complete it. I do hope to work on this every month and keep up with the 1/12 of it every month so that I finish it by the end of the year. That'll be really good. So far so good. I also worked on Juliet. Part of the Whip Go goals, one of them was, so if you're new to Whip Go is something that was started by Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She has a Facebook page, and what we did was we had a board of 25 squares, and in each square you put in a goal that you hope to achieve during the year of 2021. And every month she calls out 2 numbers, and the number 13, the one in the middle, is a free one. So when she calls that one out, then you get 3 that month. Number 13's already been called, but anyway, the numbers that were called for April were a page of Juliet and a page of Flowers of the Holy Night, which I'll show you after. But here's Juliet by Tilton Crafts. It is now out of print, but here's what it will look like when it's finished. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And there it is there. So I did finish the next page along on this row, which is, I think that's page 12. Still loving the colours. A little bit of confetti in this section, but not as much as this section here. That was all confetti, but not so much here anymore. So that is actually, these pink trestles here are actually part of her hair. So that's really exciting that it's getting closer and closer to her. And I might actually see her face in my next page, or maybe the page after. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one still. I managed a total of 5,628 stitches on this one. And it is now 39% complete. 69,353 stitches out of 177,800. So that's really good there. Still enjoying that one. And the goal for the year, I've got 5 Whip Go squares for this one, and that each of those is to complete 1 page. So I'm hoping to complete 5 pages this year on that one. And then Flowers of the Holy Night. This is by Glendon Place. Sorry, Juliet was stitched on 25 count 1/1 Lugana. Okay, so this is Flowers of the Holy Night by Glendon Place. I've loved this one since the first time I saw it. It's really pretty. It's stitched in Dinky Dye silks, and I'm stitching using the colours that are called for. It's stitched on I think it's 25 count, maybe 28 count sparkly white fabric. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And there it is now. So that's all of page 1 done. So I'm really happy with that. There's a lot of space left still, and they're mainly going to be beads, so it's going to be really, really blingy. But really happy with the way that's turning out. I set it up on my Omanic frame. I have that set up. I've heard that the silks actually do transfer colour even if you're working on it. So I try not to work on it on a Q-snap. I try to work on it on the frame, and that seems to be working well so far. I haven't actually bought the beads yet. I'll be buying the beads eventually. And there's a couple of treasures as well in this one. So, but yeah, really enjoying that. And that's that one. So they're the only ones I worked on. Sorry, I did work on Mini Cinderella on the Stairs by Haid, Heaven and Earth Designs. But I don't have enough. I think I've managed 100 stitches on that. So I'll show you that in my next video. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up on that one a little bit. One of the March goals for Whip Go was to finish a page on Cinderella on the Stairs. But because I'd had my eye operation that month, I didn't reach that goal. So I'm slowly trying to catch up on that one. Okay, the Whip Go goals for April were called as well. And, sorry, for May, so the coming month. It's also Maynia. And what I traditionally do for Maynia is I have a Mirabilia Maynia. And luckily, when Jessie called the numbers for May, my two of my Mirabilias came up. And so the first Mirabilia that came up, or one of the ones that came up, is Winter Queen. And my goal was to spend a week on this one. So here's what it looks like at the moment. And this is on a 28 count Monaco Fairies Wear Boots by Colour Cascade Fabrics. And my goal is to spend a week, but during that week I hope to finish this side of her skirt so that the next time I pick it up there'll just be 1/4 left and I'll have that done. and that'll be the stitching done. Then there's also beads to do right at the end, so I leave the beads till the end. You don't have to, but I usually put my mirabilias in a Q-snap to work on, and of course the snaps can break the beads, so I leave the beading until the end. But that's Winter Queen, and I'm really looking forward to picking her up from tomorrow. So it'll be really nice. She does have a little bit of Whisper White thread in there. I don't mind working on it. I just use really short lengths of thread to work on Whisper White. Work with Whisper White. The other one that was called was Spring Queen, the Mirabilia, and that's that one. I think she was my favourite originally. She's not my favourite anymore, but I still really like her. But here's what she looks like at the moment. Excuse the tinkling, I'm sorry about that if you don't like the noise. This is in a 28 count Lugana. I'm not sure what the fabric's doing. It was just a mystery fabric from Colour Cascades, so I don't think you can get this fabric anymore, but there's plenty that look like this one. But here's what it looks like currently, and I will be spending a week on this one as well. So during that week, I'm hoping to finish the bouquet that she's holding. So there's still this to do, and even though it looks small there's a lot of stitching. You can see there's a lot of different colours, and I think there's a lot of back stitching as well on there. So that's the bouquet there, and I'll try to complete that before the week is finished. So that'll be my Whip Go goals. And then once they're done, I had promised myself to go back and work on Autumn Queen if the time came up in autumn. We are currently in autumn here in Australia, so that's Autumn Queen there. It has already come up on Whip Go, and I've already spent 1 week on it, but I really wanted to go back to it and spend a little bit more time on it. And this is my current favourite Mirabilia that I'm working on. It's being stitched on Rocket Queen, yeah, 28 count Lugana, and it's also by Colour Cascade Fabrics, and that's where she is at the moment. So if I spend a week on her, she's still got a lot of skirt to go, so I'm hoping to finish, not finish, but get a lot more of the skirt completed. So I'll just spend a week on it and just see where it gets me. And then the last week of May, I believe there might be a little bit, well, there will be a little bit more than 4 weeks, but basically 4 weeks. I'll probably spend that time trying to get my 5,000 stitches of the Templar Prophecy to keep that caught up. Now, if I reach the goals, okay, no more crinkling. If I reach the goals before the end of the month, sorry, before the whole week. So the goals are to spend a week on them, but then I've set myself other goals to complete during the week. If I complete those goals during the week, I'm going to treat myself to something a bit different on the weekends. I haven't decided what that is yet. At first I wanted to do a new start, and I really wanted to start the Loose Feathers series by Blackbird Designs. I'll insert a picture here because I didn't bring them out. The problem with that is that the called for colours aren't readily available at the moment, not all of them anyway. I have had an order with JK's Cross Stitching Supplies to get the called for colours of another long dog sampler, and that is Cardinal Points. And again, I will insert a photo here. And I've had an order with JK's since early February, and it still hasn't arrived. So it's the same threads. I beg my pardon, excuse me. It's the same threads, and they're just not available. I just can't get them. I've tried 123 Stitch. I've tried, and in Australia, I've tried JK's. I just can't get them. So I'm happy to wait. That's fine, but it means that I can't start whenever I feel like starting. So another one I might start is my By the Bay Needle Arts, and I will insert a photo here. I may just decide to go a completely different way, and instead of starting something new, I have a couple of projects on my Whip Go board that require completion of some projects, and so I might just spend my time working on one or two of those. So we'll see how it goes. So my plans for Maynia are really up in the air, but it is going to be mainly Mirabilia Maynia as well, like the last couple of years for me. So you're welcome to join me if you have Mirabilias that you'd like to work on. There's lots of variants of Maynia. It started off in 2015 where people were starting a new project for every day of the first 15 days of May. From there, it's evolved and mutated to lots and lots of different variants. So, and of course, you're welcome to do whatever you please and whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, haul. There was a sale on at Heaven and Earth Designs, and I bought 3 new charts. I'm usually really good with sales. Recently I've been good with sales. I haven't always been good, but I've managed to stop myself from buying recently. But this one, I just felt like there were a few that were on my wish list that I really wanted, and it was 50% off, and I just couldn't pass it by. So I bought Quick Stitch Anne of Green Gables, and I will insert a picture here. I bought Mini Meeting on the Turret Stairs, and I'll insert a picture here. And Story Keep Life is an Open Book London, and I will insert a picture of that here. So that's my Heaven and Earth Designs haul for the month. And then my fabric from Crafty Leanie arrived. I'm in a fabric of the month with Crafty Leanie, but she only does 6 a year. So it's only once every 2 months that you receive fabric, which is perfect with me. I've got a pretty good collection of fabric. And this one she's called Paper Bark, which is a tree. I think it's an Australian tree. She has said that it's an Australian tree. And these are the colours of that. So this is not the colours of the leaves, but the colours of the bark of the tree. So really pretty. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I can't wait. So I'm always happy with Crafty Leanie's fabrics. They're really pretty. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what will go on this one. My reading has slowed. I'm not reading much at all lately, so I don't have any book recommendations for you. Okay, now I think that's all I've got for stitching. So if you only came to hear the stitching side of things, I will see you next month. Have a great month, and I'll see you soon. With regards to my eye, I went back to the specialist shortly after my last video, and he did the whole checkup and found that the drops they gave me, one of them actually had steroids in it, and some people react to steroids in that, apparently, I'm one of those people. As soon as the steroids hit my eye, it made the pressure of the eye go up really high. So I had spent 3 weeks taking these drops and I thought everything was fine, but apparently the pressure had doubled what it should be. So when he saw that, he told me to stop taking the drops, and he gave me different drops to bring the pressure down. And then I went back to see him 2 weeks later and the pressure had come down. He then told me to stop taking the different drops that he gave me, and make sure that the pressure would stay down for the next 2 weeks without the use of drops, and it did. So I've been back to the optometrist to have that checked out, and yep, everything's working there, so it's all good. I've decided to go with a different specialist only because I'm currently going through Medicare, which is Australia's public health fund, and the waiting list on there, I had been told by the original surgeon that my next eye wouldn't take so long, as long as I'd waited for the first one. They usually get the second one done pretty quickly. But when I asked about that at my last appointment, they said, no, you're back on the waiting list. You've gone back to the bottom of the queue, and it could take up to a year. So I've decided to go privately, and I'm seeing my new specialist at the end of the month. He will measure the eye and do all the tests that are needed, make sure that the cataract is good to come out, and which it is, I know, because they've told me that at my old place. But so the initial consultation with the new specialist will be at the end of May, and hopefully from there I will have a date for my next operation, and then 6 weeks after that I can get a proper subscription. And yeah, I remember mentioning in my last update that I was having trouble seeing. I needed a stronger subscription to see my stitching, and I was having trouble switching between the stitching and the pattern. All I've done is I've put most of my patterns are on either an iPad or a tablet, and so my pattern keeper ones are on a tablet, and I've just put a stand next to on the arm of my lounge chair, and it's just sitting next to me, and it's working. It's not ideal, but it's working until I get the proper subscription, which will hopefully be progressive, where I'll be able to see with the same pair of glasses from here to where you are, as well as close up to do stitching. So yeah, that's all being sorted, so it's moving. I definitely don't want to wait another year to have my right eye done. I just want it behind me now, and I wanted to get it done, so I'm looking forward to having that done. The other update that's going to happen this month is for the first time since February 2020, I will be going back into the city for a laptop upgrade. I currently work from home 3 days a week, and I've been doing that since February last year, and I haven't been in the office, and that would have been the case if COVID hadn't hit. I would have maybe gone into the office maybe a couple of times a year, or maybe a little bit more frequently. But then COVID hit and no one was in the office, and now they're slowly starting to let people back into the city and into the offices. And they found that my laptop needs an upgrade, and so I'll have to take it into the city later this month. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I haven't been into the city for a long time, like I said, February 2020. So it'll be something different, and I'll get to see my teammates and my boss. My boss is actually a good friend of mine, so I'm looking forward to seeing her, because I haven't seen her since February last year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, even though I didn't think I would, but I actually am. So that's about it, I think. I hope everyone has a really good month. Stay safe, and I will see you again at the end of May. Bye, everyone.